On March 3rd, 2017, I rushed into the nearest GameStop to get the latest gaming console, the Nintendo Switch. The release titles it didn't have that many release titles, but the ones that it did have were really good. The one that I ended up playing the most was called The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and to this day I have about 500 hours in that game. Kudos to how good it is. With that much experience, I got interested in trying to complete the game as fast as possible, what most people would call speedrunning. So speedrunning is basically a sport. People compete for the fastest time possible that they can get in a game, and as more people get better times, it becomes harder and harder to get a world record run. As of today, the world record in Breath of the Wild is no amiibo, 29 minutes and 59 seconds, and with amiibo, 29 minutes and 45 seconds, according to speedrun.com. You might have noticed that I said with and without amiibo. In the context of this game, amiibo are basically little boosters that add on, so you don't have to pick up as many items in the later half of the game, which makes the with amiibo route a little bit faster than the without amiibo. So, other major categories that are speedrun are all dungeons, all main quests, all shrines, and 100%, which encompasses all the quests, shrines, collectibles, and completing the DLC. And the current record for this is 25 hours, held by Specs and Stats. One thing that's important to note is that Breath of the Wild is available on both the Switch and the Wii U. So most runners don't care what console they use because there's no major game-breaking glitches on the Switch or the Wii U that would make the run faster. So I'm going to be using what's called a Pro Controller to demonstrate the run. It's basically your standard controller for gaming. Although some people decide to go with the Joy-Cons instead, which look like this. They're a little bit smaller. And if you're playing on Wii U, then you're forced to use this clunky tablet to play with. So the tricks that I'm going to be showing are called whistle sprinting and parrying, specifically parrying the Guardian lasers. But before that, I need to explain the differences between normal and master mode. So in master mode, enemies are a lot stronger, bosses are stronger, and there's a couple other minor changes that don't really affect the speedrun. Because of the increased difficulty, most people usually play in normal mode, and there's not any separate categories for master mode, so you would just be hurting yourself if you did play in master mode. So, according to the hardest things about trying to speedrun Breath of the Wild from Kotaku, these two tricks, parrying and whistle sprinting, are among the hardest up there. So first thing I'm going to be demonstrating is parrying. So the enemy I'm going to be fighting is called a Guardian, and they're very strong and they shoot lasers at you. But if you can deflect the lasers correctly, you can actually 3-hit kill them. So because this fight is really audio and visual cue intensive, I'm going to be trying to break down the fight before and after. So before the fight, I want to say that you want to let the Guardian run up to you, because if you let the Guardian run up to you, it'll shoot at you the exact same distance every time you fight a Guardian, which makes it a little bit easier to practice and get down the timing for doing the parry. So now I'm going to actually fight the Guardian. As you can see in this fight, all you have to do to deflect the laser is press A at the right time, and if you do that, you can 3-hit kill them. So you can find Guardians in the Castle Town, Hyrule Castle, Hyrule Field, and spread out elsewhere throughout the map. So this is used in the speedrun during the final battle, because the final boss has a laser that he shoots at you, and you need to deflect it. So not being able to do this would basically end the run because it would one-shot you and kill you. So the second tech that I'm going to be demonstrating is called whistle sprinting. So whistle sprinting is basically whistling in-game while sprinting. So first you can whistle using down on the D-pad, which is right here, and sprinting is the B button while moving. So you can sprint while moving, but you can't whistle while moving, not in the same way. So what you have to do is called whistle sprinting, and to do this you have to be moving, you want to hold down the whistle button, and then you want to mash the sprint button. By doing this, you move at a higher speed than if you were just regularly sprinting. So yeah, it's used throughout the run in order to save stamina, but because regular sprinting is slightly faster than whistle sprinting, runners will often alternate between whistle sprinting and regular sprinting to get the maximum speed possible. So these two strategies, or Texas speedrunners would call it, are absolutely necessary in order to properly speedrun Breath of the Wild. By learning these, you can also develop some maturity for practicing these skills, which can help you learn other things in different speedruns. Thank you.